Good morning. Thank you, Will and Strott and Danette. We appreciate what you're doing here, and we're glad that we can partner with you to assist with the Education Center. We keep talking about sustainability and green and things to that effect, and one of the easiest ways that you can participate is by recycling, and all of our cities have some type of program that's been involved at least for the last few years. I'm proud to say the city of Phoenix has been involved in recycling, most people don't realize this, since the 60s. We started using old tires to make rubberized asphalt for our streets back in the 60s. We got involved with recycling in solid waste in the 80s, and we continued that program. It was one of the first commingle programs in the country. We're getting ready to celebrate our 20th anniversary on our recycling program. I didn't realize this, but 27th Avenue, our MRF Center over there, is 15 years old. Is that correct, John? I want to introduce John Trujillo. He's one of our assistant directors of our Public Works Department over solid waste. Tony Miano, where's Tony? Also with our solid waste department doing our recycling program. You've met some of our recycling staff. They're out in front distributing information. Phoenix is very committed to this program, as are the other cities within the valley, and we're very proud of what we're doing. As I was mentioning, 27th Avenue is 15 years old. We've actually shut it down to update it. It'll be closed for about a year. So this particular facility is going to benefit from that by accepting our recycling. Strott, you mentioned Northgate, and frankly, I don't know what we call it either, to tell you the truth, but we have a MRF Center up in the north part of the valley, and that center is taking all of the recycling, which Hudson Baylor takes from us and handles for us. We've had a relationship with Hudson Baylor since, I think, somewhere in the mid-90s, and we continue that strong relationship as well, and we appreciate the great things that they are doing. City of Phoenix, as I said, is committed to recycling. We will continue to be so. I personally have had the opportunity to, I have been on the City Council as chairman of our Energy, Environment, and Natural Resources Committee. I also sit as the National League of Cities chairman for their Energy, Environment, and Natural Resources Committee. And obviously solid waste and recycling is a very important aspect of that, something that we're looking at and encouraging our federal government as well as our local governments to start taking more responsibility in, is how do we recycle and handle electronic waste? Because obviously there are some nasty things in there that we want to make sure doesn't get back into the environment. So that's something that hopefully with our partnerships with Hudson Baylor and others, that we can come up with better ways to handle those types of wastes as well. It's my pleasure also to be able to introduce this morning Mayor Hugh Holman from the City of Tempe, a good partner with all of us. If you want to say that, that's fine.
Just talking to the next mayor of the City of Phoenix, Claude Maddox, who has served the City of Phoenix and its residents extraordinarily well. He is a true leader in our community and one heck of a bandsman. This gentleman helps us raise money for charities across the county by being at stage #1 at a rock and roll marathon that's going to be on January 17th. So Claude will be out there. Whoever's complaining about how early it is in the morning, he'll be out there setting up instruments at about 4:30 in the morning on January 17th. So Claude, thank you for everything you do for the community. I am Tempe Mayor Hugh Holman, and I'm delighted to be here. I am here to celebrate what Hudson Baylor has been doing for the community of the city of Tempe, because Hudson Baylor has done something that honestly has taken decades to get to and is essential to our ability to continue to become the outstanding sustainable community. Now, most people think of sustainability only these days in that environmental catchphrase. We've been talking about creating a truly sustainable community for about 6 years. That sustainability depends on economic sustainability, cultural sustainability, and yes, environmental sustainability. They are part of the entire picture. Without all three of them, we can't achieve any one of them. And this is what I mean. Hudson Baylor has now provided the solution using the single stream recycling program that makes this profitable. It makes it possible for a community like the city of Tempe and Scottsdale and Avondale and Gilbert and the city of Phoenix to undertake this kind of a program in a way that doesn't cost tax dollars but adds back into the community's resources. That's the critical change. But together we're able to make sure that the lifetime of landfills is extended significantly and return dollars to the community for every single ton of recycling that we're getting out of the landfills. We get the benefit of the additional cash plus the savings in tip fees. That's something Hudson Baylor is doing for us that is making a huge difference in our community. And all of their partners who work with them to take their share of the recycled materials and get them back into the stream of usable materials are essential to this. That's economic sustainability, but it's also the environmental sustainability. The last piece of what we are trying to continue to achieve in Tempe is retain the sense of our community. Cities are different. They have different personalities. The city of Tempe is 137 years old. We are the site, sadly, of some of the oldest landfills along the Salt River. Once the Salt River was dammed up, we lost some of our community flavor. Tempe Beach Park was called Beach Park because that's where the community swam during the summer as the Salt River flowed by. When Roosevelt Dam was built and that river was channeled up, the scar formed across our valley. The ugly scar of the Salt River, because we destroyed the original source of the habitat, the essential water. Because of the efforts of companies like Hudson Baylor that are helping us reduce the need for landfills, we've been able to turn the kinds of ugly scars and landfills in our city into beautiful locations. We reclaimed a landfill on the east side of our community that used to be on the Salt River. It's now called Tempe Marketplace. 200 acres of destroyed real estate that had been used as landfills has been turned into an economic generator for our city. The city of Phoenix has been able to take its portion of the Salt River and reclaim it for a beautiful riparian area that runs along the south side of the airport. And of course, the city of Tempe turned those landfills along the Salt River and the Salt River Channel into the Rio Salado project that is known for its town lake. Almost 4 million people a year visit Tempe as a result of our ability to turn those areas that were filled with trash back into a treasure for our community. And it's as a result of the companies that are here today and Hudson Baylor that make those kinds of things possible, providing us not only the resources by paying for recycling and reducing our tip fees, but also by making it possible to eliminate landfills in this valley by reducing the demand for landfills through their work. You all already know the details, I suspect. Things like the city of Tempe, our staff here. I'd like them to stand up. This is our staff from Public Works and Solid Waste. If you'd all rise and take a round of applause for working for decades to make things better in Tempe.